my name is not Kourtney Kardashian, but today we are going to be recreating her beautiful Vogue makeup tutorial. I seriously love Kourtney because she just embodies a natural goddess. Everything she does looks so effortless, and that's kind of the opposite of me. Our makeup routines are very different, and I really want to see how her methods of applying makeup look on my face, and if that makes me any closer to looking like Kourtney Kardashian, that is great with me, even though I know I don't, but let's go ahead and give this an attempt. So the first step to her little makeup routine is putting on a oil. I usually don't do this. I usually do this after I wear makeup. This is what I mean, that it's kind of backwards. So I'm going to be using my Vanish Vitamin C oil, going with 3 drops. Kourtney is seriously so beautiful without makeup. I feel like how she looks without makeup is how I look with makeup on a good day. And at her age, she just looks amazing. Like, the oil is in, and she goes in with a spray, so I'm gonna go ahead and do that. See, I would usually go in with a spray after, but this is Kourtney's day. This is Kourtney's tutorial, so we're gonna do exactly what she does. So I'm gonna be going in with the Mario Badescu. Again, the actual makeup tutorial, I found this step very interesting. She goes in with her hands, and I never go in with my hands. I always need my Fenty sponge. So let's just go ahead and attempt this. I have so much texture on my face that I know going in with my hands isn't going to be the best, but hey, let's give it a go. She's like the queen of being natural, so whatever she says today goes. It's interesting, like her sisters are always so glam and she's always like the natural one, which is so funny, but I feel like that's what makes her Kourtney. I don't know how I feel about using my hands, but we're not done yet. There's still hope. And she goes in with some concealer, which I feel like is a very normal part of your makeup routine. Like, you always put foundation and then concealer, so we're gonna go in with that. And it just goes in with her finger first to separate the product. God. See, this is hard when you're not Kourtney Kardashian because you might just look like a train wreck. With a little sponge, I'm gonna use my Fenty to buff that all in. It's funny to me that ever since Kim said she was the least interesting to look at, she's literally become like the most interesting to look at. I've always felt that way though, like she's always been herself, and I feel like that's what makes her her. Like, it's just so interesting. Concealer is on, let's move on. This is the interesting part of the tutorial. She doesn't actually set her under eyes, she just goes in with some bronzer. So that's exactly what we're gonna do. And I just know my under eyes are gonna crease because I always have to set my under eyes before I move on to anything. So I guess that's just what comes with having like amazing skin like her. She doesn't even need to set her under eyes like the rest of us. Bronzer is on, and then she goes in with the exact same bronzer and a smaller brush to contour her nose and kind of give her eye a little color. So this part is really interesting as well. After she's applied bronzer, she goes back in over powder with a cream kind of contour. I'm going to be using my Maybelline in Coconut. I've been using this for years and it works amazing for me. Usually I'll just go in with the actual product, but she just puts it on the back of her hand and uses the same brush to pick the product up and kind of buff it in the skin. This is interesting because I don't know how my skin will react to this because I've already applied powder. So going back in with a cream it's really reverse. So she was really right about her routine being backwards, but let's just go in and buff this in. Now after she's applied bronzer, she goes back in with her concealer. And And I think this is the same one that she's using to cover up some spots. I have a lot of areas that I'm not liking right now, so I'm going to be covering up a lot of spots. It's just interesting because she's layered the bronzer and then the cream product and then this. So let's go ahead and do that. She goes back in with her sponge to kind of blend those problem areas out. I have to say her routine is very unique. Like, I don't think I've ever seen anyone do their makeup like this, which is really interesting. This is the part that I've been waiting for. I know I've already been creasing, but she goes in with a powder. Puts it on her forehead and around her nose. She goes in with some mascara and eyelash curler. Honestly, my eyelash curler doesn't do anything for my lashes because they are just so straight. And then we're gonna go in with some mascara. It can't just be me. Like, everyone that puts mascara on, I always see their mouths open. Like, if I try to not do it, it just feels so weird. I don't know. Every girl has to have like their mouth open whenever their eyes are asked to be open or are forced to be open. It can really help with my eyelashes. If you guys know like a good serum or something, please let me know because I'm just so sick and tired of my lashes never looking like there's anything on it. I love how as she's going through her tutorial, she's drinking her little avocado juice. I don't have that, I just have some good old water, so. We are approaching the end. She goes in with a lip liner that's a little bit darker than her lipstick. And I always use this method. I feel like it just looks so nice. So I'm gonna go in with this. I'm still practicing my makeup skills. Like, I honestly recently just started to wear makeup more regularly. I feel like when I left high school, that's when I kind of got more into makeup. How old were you guys when you started wearing makeup? I'm curious to know. I'm going to fill in my lips with 2 different colors to get that desired color that she gets. And then I'm going to go over with MAC Velvet Teddy. Looks like she already has like amazing brows, so she kind of just skimmed her product through the brows, which I'm just gonna do that real quick. I actually tried to wax my own brows. Not tried, I always do wax my own brows. So I don't really use a brow product on mine because they are naturally thicker. But there are always some sparse areas, but I just lost trust in getting my brows done because they just always turn out way too thin. So I've kind of mastered my own little waxing technique. My surprise, she actually does use highlighter, but she uses it in like a very different place, like literally just right around the eye area, I believe. So let's go ahead and do that. She's not really into like the huge contour trend. I am definitely into that. But I love how simplistic and minimalistic this is kind of coming down. I was about to put some on my nose, but she doesn't do that. Thank you for watching. I hope you learned something about natural beauty. If you guys did enjoy this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe while you're at it. It would really help me a lot. And I'll see you guys next time.